I mean, I love Elizabeth, man. I always want the best for Elizabeth.
So you were walking these parts as a kid a lot?
Yeah, man, by myself. No brothers, no sisters. Didn't speak a lick of English. It was scary at the beginning. Right here, 935. 935 was the first house that we lived in. My parents lived out of a box. It's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful city. This is Elizabeth in a nutshell. You have all types of different restaurants, all types of different businesses, all different walks of life. The culture is so diverse. You have people from all types of different nationalities living in one single place. At least growing up, to me, racism was never an issue in Elizabeth because, you know, you were used to having black neighbors, white neighbors, Italian neighbors, Mexican neighbors. I mean, so that didn't really matter. At the end of the day, man, we're all people. We all go through the same struggles. Money problems, family problems, deaths in the family. Well, Spanish people, what the United States have surpassed as, I think, the biggest minority. It's hard for us to reach out to the Hispanic community, especially business owners, because unfortunately, business owners, especially Hispanic business owners, they would try to do everything under the sun but file bankruptcy. Mindsets that are ingrained into the social atmosphere of pretty much every Spanish community. And that is, unfortunately, sometimes get deeper into debt. And that's a big issue. By the time they come and talk to us to see if they're able to file bankruptcy, at that point it's way too late. Retail places, office spaces, all closed down because of COVID. Look at this place, the Ritz. It's probably been here for almost 100 years. And now it's closed down. You can't pay the rent, man. And then landlords are struggling too. People that are homeowners and can't afford to pay back their mortgage. Bankruptcies, one, will save them from their houses being foreclosed on, and will probably give them another opportunity, like a second bite of the apple, whether it's a loan modification, whether it's a forbearance, loan forgiveness, or just the ability to pay back the mortgage that they're behind through the Chapter 13 plan. And I think I really became a bankruptcy attorney, man, because I can relate to the financial struggles of people, right? Because I've experienced it since such an early age. I saw my parents struggle. My father worked 2 jobs. My mom also worked 2 jobs. I lived in Elizabeth because my parents couldn't afford to live anywhere else, right? So we made the best out of it. We would take the bus from Elizabeth, the other side of Elizabeth, to go food shopping in this supermarket right here. We would have to take the bus back with groceries in tow. Carrying that on a bus, or even when we couldn't afford the bus, walk it back. That was the struggle. And I dare an attorney tell me that they've gone through that. This is where we hung out. That's what you did. You just hung out on the block because it was the safest place to hang out in. If you got away from your block, that's when it started getting dangerous. You would run with a whole bunch of people in case you ran into trouble. And if you were ever caught by yourself, that was on you. We call ourselves outcasts. We weren't part of gangs or anything like that. It wasn't. It was kind of like the movie Warriors minus the stupid ass outfits. We weren't looking for a fight, but we would never run away from one. And I think that's how most people in Elizabeth, they're not looking for a fight, but they don't run away from one either. I mean, you're seeing the consequence of me being a knucklehead and nothing but trouble. That's why I became an attorney, because I went so far off the reservation that my only option was to start making my way back because of my upbringing. I don't want people to think that I had a bad upbringing. And because I had good values, strong foundational structure from my parents, I was able to then get out of my own way, buckle down and say, don't be another statistic. 17-year-old kid. And that's real life, man. Unfortunately, kids die. Whether it's through gun violence, gang violence, that's the type of that I grew up with. One of my wife's employees was telling her that her nephew got stabbed in Elizabeth a few weeks ago, got jumped and stabbed 5 times. I mean, thank God the kid is still alive, but you know, when she was telling me about it, she seemed pretty surprised. You know, and my response to her was, I'm just surprised that he didn't get shot. You know, because people were getting stabbed when we were in high school in Elizabeth. People were getting stabbed when we were in 8th grade. This is Elizabeth High School. In 2001, we were probably using books from 1979. So that's the state of Elizabeth and the educational system. I remember I was in high school, man, and a teacher actually said to me, you're not gonna be anything in this world. But can you imagine though, if you had a kid and a teacher told them that? Like, how would that make you feel? How would that make that kid feel? Right? But teachers were so used to, kids here in Elizabeth being badasses. That probably wasn't the first time that he'd said that to a kid that day. I mean, I graduated high school, can't really tell you how. And I'm sure that a lot of people that grew up in Elizabeth feel that same way. Nobody really spoke to me about college while I was here. That just didn't happen. Probably because they thought that I was just going to be another statistic. So that's something that has to change. And that starts at a real foundational level, right? With the education systems and stuff that we teach the kids, but every now and then I like coming back here because it reminds me of where I came from. I think that's important. A lot of people leave the places where they came from and never go back. I mean, it definitely taught me to fend for myself, to also appreciate the stuff that we have now. The stuff that I've worked for, stuff that my parents have worked for, and how much we've been able to overcome. Because unfortunately, not a lot of people make it out of Elizabeth. That's the truth. And I wasn't taught anything about finances or managing your finances. I mean, that's something that we discuss with our clients after bankruptcy, and how to work on their credit and how to be better managers of their finances. We really educate them as to what their options are, mainly to let them know that they're not alone. We're very knowledgeable in what we do. I mean, you go to some of these places like Patterson and Elizabeth, all you see is Spanish people, right? And these are the same people that don't know how to handle their money, don't know how to take out credit, are just bamboozled by banks and lenders. They're extended credit under the guise that they're going to be able to pay it back, when in reality, the bank probably knows right off the bat that these people are never going to be able to pay these loans back and these mortgages, and they take advantage of it. I just want to make sure that these people aren't taken advantage of. I saw it happen to my parents, and I see it happening now to people living within these communities. So when I talk to my clients and they're struggling financially, it's like I kind of see my parents. That makes me want to help them more. When you're a client of Scura, you are family, right? We care about you. We care about your family, your well-being. And then we just want to do right by you, as all attorneys should take care of their clients. But for us, it's much more than that, because we've either experienced it before or we've been through it before, and we understand and we sympathize with it because we've struggled, right? And now that we're better off, we want to help the next person be better off. My daughter, right, Scarlett? Yeah, she was like, would you change anything about your childhood? And I said, no. Because if I changed anything in my childhood, that means that I would change the person who I am now, right? And I think that was very fitting, because the person that I am now is a result of everything that happened in the past, the good and the bad.